Well, what I would say basically, like in terms of the divine order of things, husband, love your wives, submit to your husbands, at the same time loving one another, because that's the balance.
Yeah.
When I look at the actions of women, like it's easy to honor a man that has poured so much into you. Not just a man, it's easy to honor your husband if he has done all of those things. It's more difficult to honor a man who is absent, who is irresponsible, who is a lot of things on, the negative edge of things. But I've heard stories of men who were on the brink of all of those negativities, and it took them just one year. They would be like, what has this woman even done to me that have been so callous around her? I think it's time for me to make that shift. And it's like a light bulb moment for a lot of men, and they switch. They now become that person. That's why I'm just like, some women have received it, well. I can also say that there was a time in my parents' life at the early stage of their marriage, when issues around, boy child, all those traditional things. Then I know that to a very large extent, some things must have gotten to my mom at that time. But one of the things that I remember her saying was how that despite how receptive my dad was about all his relations, sisters, children, all those things, and all of those people, that came around with various degrees of maybe hurtful words, things like that. Like my dad he remained very determined to make his marriage work, to be there for his wife, to support his children. And my father was never necessarily the man that he never really differentiated between a male child or a female child, even up till now. Because I remember him telling me while I was still much younger, and he would say things like, in fact, one of the things, I used to be like a very rugged child. Extremely rugged, like rugged to the point that at some point in my childhood, I had cut my own keys in my house. So my parents had their keys, I had my own keys. If they go out, they say, don't go out. Once they are checking out, me, I'll pull out my own keys. I'll So when I see my boys, sometimes they God will not allow them to be as tough as I was,
Amen.
and with all of those challenges, that she had to pull through, she had a man that was strongly behind her, not just behind her, beside her.